Alright, hello everyone, I'm BlueFrogTutorials, and I'm going to be making some scripting tutorials because I've had several referrals from friends to build some tutorials, because it's hard to find scripting advice online for Roblox because there's not a lot of sources out there. There's the wiki, but the wiki doesn't really cover anything, and it's not the most reliable source. So over the next course of these videos, I'm going to try and teach you the basics of scripting so you can apply it to your games and hopefully start building stuff. Alright, the first thing you have to know is your studio. So this is Roblox Studio. If you don't know how to get here, if you've already downloaded Roblox, it downloaded Studio for you. So all you would have to do would be to search, like if you have a Windows, you would search Roblox Studio, and it should come up there if you've downloaded Roblox, because they download them together. Alright, so this is Studio. In Studio, this is where everyone makes the games that you've probably played on Roblox before. If you're already familiar with Studio, then just bear with me for a second. I'm going to go over the basics. Alright, in Studio, you can add bricks, you can add all these advanced objects over here that help create your game. So it's important to know what all these tabs are. The Explorer over here keeps track of everything that's in your game. I'll go over the individual, what these are in a second, because these are all very important. Over here is your Advanced Objects tab. This is where you actually insert stuff into your game. Like if I wanted to insert an image, there would be a decal. If I wanted to insert like a little NPC, I would use a humanoid, stuff like that. Properties is what you can use to modify the objects in your already existing studio place. Output is when you're playing the game, it'll tell you like if there's any errors or if everything's running smoothly. That's kind of advanced. We'll get to that soon. Toolbox, this is where you can get models online. This is where you can find things that people have already built. Like if I was lazy and I wanted just a free zombie that someone already built, I could just insert a zombie. And there's also free images that people have already built. And it also has your images or models that you've collected in the Toolbox. Alright, so at the top tab here is all our building tabs. This first one, model, is over here is for like if we're going to modify bricks. Like we can add fire, smoke to them. We can make new bricks or spheres, wedges, cylinders. Can change their color, surface, even their material, make them like brick or something like that. And these are all your tools. The tools are important. Select just moves bricks around like that. Move actually is more precise. It can move the brick in any 3 directions. Scale can make things larger or smaller. And rotate rotates bricks. Transform's a bit advanced, so we won't go over that right now. Terrain, this isn't really important for our purposes. Terrain's if you want to like generate like smooth, like not using bricks in your game, but I don't really like using that. Test is when you have your game built and you want to actually play it. It'll let you make a test server in the game. So this is my little character. I can join the game and it'll let me play whatever I built, so I can know it works before I send it to Roblox. And view, this is where you can like choose what you want to see. Like for example, if you need to learn more, you can use context help. Like, see, this is all the stuff I've opened. I have output, toolbox, and properties and explorer open. If you don't have any of these open, I suggest you pause the video and you take all of these and open them, because these are the most important ones in my opinion. Plugins, this is if you want to add extra stuff. The only plugins I have right now is the animation plugin, because that's the only way you can make animations on Roblox that actually are smooth and work. But animations are really complex. We probably won't get to that in a long time. So I wanted to show you the Explorer tab in more detail, because the Explorer tab is where you're going to be doing most of your work. Alright, in Workspace, this is all the physical stuff of your game. This is where all your bricks are. Like, I named all these test 1 through 4, so these are all over here. And they're in the workspace. You see how there's a drop-down arrow? Anything within the drop-down arrow is a child of whatever it's above it. It uses tabbing, so you know that terrain is a child of workspace, script is a child of workspace, and all that. And you can enter any advanced objects from this advanced object tab into the workspace. What you would do is you would click on workspace, and you would find anything you want to enter. Say I wanted to enter a hat. I would double-click hat while workspace is selected, and it would put a hat in our workspace. And so that's how you insert objects into places. Alright, players, this is where in your game it will keep track of everyone playing your game. This is like where you'd find their backpack, like the tools they have on them. Lighting is actually where most scripters use to store stuff, which is like if, for example, if you've ever played a game that uses rounds and they have maps, what they would do is they would store all the maps in the lighting, and they would take one at a time and put them into the workspace and take them out when the map's done. All of the other stuff here is pretty advanced, these 4 items, so we won't go over them right now. Starter GUI is, if GUIs are the little boxes or images that are on your screen, so no matter where you're looking, they'll always be on your screen. Starter pack is where you store your tools for the player. Starter player is a bit advanced, so is soundscape, and we won't go over HTTP service yet. So that's your Explorer tab. That's the most important thing. Now, you probably came here because you wanted to learn scripting. Scripting is what makes all of this work. Now, what scripting does is it pretty much modifies the properties of your items in your workspace or your lighting and all that. So properties are, we have to click on we can click on anything, and then we go down to the properties, and we find the properties are anything that describes the brick. So these are all properties of this test 1 brick right here. Its material is plastic. We can change that if we want. We can make it granite. See, we could change its color to blue from the properties tab. And what the script can do is it can go in and it can change the properties of all of these things. And I made a little test script just to show you this. So don't worry about what the script's saying yet. It's alright. And so using the script, I can just change these bricks that are right here. And so yeah, I made one of them half transparent. I changed the color of this one, and I made this one bigger. And this one was supposed to move. I guess he didn't. But anyway, those are all things you can do with just a script. And as you can see, our output's giving me a bunch of errors because I probably did something wrong in there. But so yeah, I did all of that just from these 4 lines of script. And so scripting is very helpful because you can pretty much change the properties of anything in your game, like the players, all of that. That's how games are created. Alright, so you might have seen that this, when you open a script, this doesn't look like your script. And this is because I like to personalize my scripting colors, because like I think the colors they have now are really boring. So you can personalize your own script. I'll show you how to do that now. So you go to File, Settings. From the settings, I believe you just scroll down, and here is where it gets fun. Script Editor Colors. And so you can actually change the colors of all of these things in your script. You can do mine if you think it'll be easier to follow along with me, but I like bright neon colors. Like, for example, comments, I made light green. They're usually a little dark green. Number values, I made kind of orange. String values, I made, number values are usually green as well. These string values are usually purple, and I changed them kind of to a light blue. All of this that's purple or pink right now would be black normally, and the background would usually be white. But I don't know. I didn't find that those colors very exciting, so I changed them up. You can change them to whatever you want. So it won't affect the script. It'll just make it more fun to script because you're probably looking at the colors right now, and they're not very fun. So that's what I did. It's up to you if you want to change that or not. Alright, and so that is pretty much a basic overview of what the whole studio can give us. You'll learn more about the studio as we go through each separate tutorial, but for now, that's pretty much a basic understanding. If you have any questions, oh wait, I wanted to at the end of each video, I'm going to give you guys just a few homework questions, just because like scripting is just like a class. You need to study, you need to like practice it to understand it. And so for the homework I want you to do for this lesson is I want you to insert, and I'll go over the homework, like I'll pause the video and then I'll do it myself, so you have a chance to do it first, and then come back and you see how I did it to make sure you did it right. So first I want you to insert 3 different advanced objects into your studio, and then find 3 properties of a brick, just like write them down somewhere. Then create a folder, because you see how the drop down arrows, we can put stuff in other items. Like you see how I put this decal, which is an image, and I put it into that block. You can put stuff into other stuff. You just have to click on it, go to your advanced objects tab, and then double click whatever you want to insert. So I want you to put a folder in the workspace, and then I want you to put a script into it by that method. So these are the 3 questions. I'll pause the video now so you can do them, and in a second I'll explain how to do each. Alright, so I'm going to go over the questions. So to insert 3 different advanced objects, so let's just go to our workspace, and these are our advanced objects. Let's do a character mesh. How about a tool? Oops, I inserted that into the character mesh. You got to be careful not to do that. Oops. So make sure you always click workspace when you insert something. How about a color 3 value? And let's do an explosion. So none of these are really doing anything because we haven't modified them with the script yet. They're just kind of hanging out there. But that's how you insert advanced objects. Alright, number 2. Find 3 properties of a brick. So let's use one of the bricks we've already made. Oh, I think I just saw the explosion. I guess it was doing something. I've never really worked with explosions that much. Okay, so let's find 3 properties of a brick. So first we would click on the brick, and then we would go into, you can click it on the Explorer or in the game, and then you would go to Properties, and these are all the properties of the brick. You could have said any of these. I could have said transparency, name, and velocity. So, like form factor, friction, these are all properties of the brick. Some of them are numerical, like position is numerical, and some of them are words like form factor. Form factors like if it's the brick symmetric or not. Some of them are just 1 number, and some of them are 3 numbers. These 3 numbers are called vector 3 values. They're a bit more complex. We'll learn about them later. While transparency would just be 1 number, like 0.5. Transparency would be 1 to 0. So if I put a 1, it would be completely transparent. So those are some basic properties. And for number 2, create a folder and then put a script in it. We know how to do that, so let's go to our workspace, Advanced Objects, Folder, oops, and let's put a script in it. Oh, and I also wanted to, one more question. Let's also do rename a brick. Alright. Because I want to also teach you how to rename stuff. It's pretty easy, but it's important because your script will have to know the name of different bricks. You can't have like 4 bricks, the same name, and try and modify only one of them. So what you would do to rename something is, let's rename this hat. But you would double click it, triple click, I mean, for some reason. Then you would backspace it, and then you would type in whatever you want. You can also change the name by going directly into the Properties tab, and we see name here, and we can name it whatever we want there, and it'll appear in the Explorer. Now your Explorer and your Properties tab, like I should have said this earlier, they're probably not the same place as I am. You can, as mine are, you can drag them around, you can put them wherever you want. Like if I want my Explorer tab at the bottom, I can do that. So if you like the way I have it set up, then you can do that. If not, do whatever you want. If you put 2 tabs on top of each other, they'll have tabs at the bottom so you can switch through them. And that's pretty much what we're going to learn today about Studio. In the next video, we're actually going to get into some scripting. So thank you for tuning in. See you next time.